Okay, let's see. Let's get started. A lot of great stuff today. I'm super excited. Super excited. Let's get going. That's why I was up early and now I need to see if my audio's good. I need to kind of listen. Hello, hello, testing, testing, testing. Sibilance, sibilance. Just checking my audio. Yeah, I need to see if my audio's. I think it's fine. Hello, hello, testing, testing, testing. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay. So we'll see. I tend to occasionally have audio problems, and the only at the moment this low tech system, my solution is just check it on this other computer here occasionally. So that's not a great solution. Let's get going. There's a lot of great new stuff. There's a lot of great new stuff. A lot of great community stuff. So my I don't know if I can find it. A viewer on YouTube, hello, a viewer on YouTube gave me some feedback about how to start and stop these sessions, which I love and I'm going to do. Meanwhile, I wrote a quick kind of just essay or blog post sort of in the wiki. This is basically it. We can read that. And then finally, a user contacted me on LinkedIn to say, hey, this is exciting and how can I help and how can I get involved? And so that's great. That's super great. I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer your question now, today. Let's get coffee and get started. I'm going to show kind of how to download Chatfield and start for yourself because unfortunately it's not released yet in a convenient way. It's released on GitHub in some sense, but it's not in an npm package. It's not in a Python package. It's not published to pip. So I will show you how to do it today to get started. I'm very happy because this open source project for me is about learning and enjoying programming and enjoying creating and learning about cutting edge, technologies, LLMs, and all of that, of course. And so I used to write. In fact, I have a lot of repos. How many repos do I have? Yeah, 125. So I don't remember, but I used to do lots and lots of open source work. Obviously, these are, mostly old projects. And then I worked on closed source software for many, many years. And so now I can record and stream this. And so my intention is it's not meant to be highly entertaining or dense, this YouTube streams. It's meant to capture every keystroke, every moment of the project for posterity, for any reason. One thing I've done offline elsewhere is I can fetch and pull this transcript as text from YouTube with an API key or something. And then I want to use that as a bit of a archive, as not a RAG application necessarily, but I want to consolidate that. I've consumed lots of caffeine and rambled on many topics, which I would like to consolidate into some output. I think that's great. Sort of put my big mouth to professional use, add some value from my big mouth. So what I love, what's worked already is there's been community feedback already is on YouTube, especially. So I got great ideas and great feedback. So I'm very happy that this is kind of a new, this is a new um, di- dimension. This is a new way to enjoy open source or to participate in open source, which is these kind of live videos. I mean, this feels exactly like my job every day on Zoom. Jump on Zoom, jump on Microsoft Teams, and we're developing or we're pairing or we're sharing documents or we're sharing our screen, all of that, right? This is almost exactly, I mean, this is, I don't enjoy the programming nearly as much as, you know, soaking in the warm waters of open source here. There's a tight deadline, there's a tight, tight structure around everything. It's not meant to be highly enjoyable and relaxing. But technically, it's just like this. We record the screen, we get on the microphone, get on the call. So I want to kind of do that here and have it all recorded always. So let's jump through some things. So the first thing I will do is review Chatfield, and then also I will incorporate Jasper's feedback. Jasper's feedback, which was, here it is. It's been lost from the homepage. That's fine. Like a daily journal of how things have gone. This is a little bit too verbose, but what I will do is I will review the daily journal at the beginning of every day. I will review yesterday's journal. That's great. So let's kind of begin from the top and jump in. So after I review the journal, then I'm going to answer another user's, I guess his nickname would be Sid. I certainly work with people named Sid in this often. And so his feedback was, how could I get started? And so I think I'm excited because I could maybe document some more today, but also, again, just like work, we call it onboarding or we call it knowledge transfer. I can just show you how I'm doing this, how I'm doing a development environment. I can start a fresh project and clone this project and just say, here is today's technique and procedure to become successful with this. Because in my experience, like open source software kind of has the best, usually kind of developer onboarding experience. And the reason is not surprising. The reason is sort of obvious. It's open source. There's a huge marketplace. There's everything on GitHub and it's so big. Obscurity is the main, challenge with open source. Notice my project, Chatfield. 1 fork, 0 watchers, 1 star, right? So I'm obscure. And that is the fate of most open source projects. And so gaining users is kind of your top priority. And so I think there's a bit of competition to explain clearly what is your value add here. And then next to explain clearly, like, how can you get a quick win? What's your quick win to get started with my open source tool? So how can you benefit the developer downstream? And because my benefit is users and usage. So we'll talk about that because Sid asked where to add value. And my answer is usage. Some of the answer is usage. So let's dive in. So let me get started here. So Chatfield is a side quest on the larger quest of Vibe DevOps. Chatfield is a practical, interesting, concrete challenge and a concrete solution. So I'm kind of happy. It's less clear to me how to solve Vibe DevOps, especially as a hobby project. So that's why we're here. And what Chatfield is basically like HTML forms or any forms where you're gathering input from people, let's say, from users. Chatfield is doing the same thing in an interactive conversation with, of course, using an LLM to drive that conversation. And so then as a software developer, you as the software developer should feel kind of similar to building a form. You get structured data in response. There's, typically keys and values. If these are HTML forms, there's all the keys and values and all that. Furthermore, with Chatfield, oh, this font is just so huge. Yeah. With Chatfield, you can validate data, which the LLM will enforce. You can write code to validate subsequently, if you like, the traditional way. But if you like, optionally, the Chatfield or the LLM, whatever you like to say, can do all sorts of validation from your directions, from your prompts as a developer, and also transform data. So for example, if a user says my budget is 5K, like USD, we can convert that to an integer or to all sorts of data structures commonly used by software applications. Objects or dictionaries, translating across human languages, converting from human language to computer language. In fact, any arbitrary, actually, transformations to this data. You can classify it, like I say here. So that's Chatfield. It's like forms. It's just like forms on an LLM, conversational data collection. Now, and so Chatfield supports 2 languages. You can do Python and TypeScript. I'm so excited because the feedback from Sid was, hey, I do Python and TypeScript too. There's a lot of us out there who this is the stack. I met someone else in a different context yesterday. Python and TypeScript, Python and React. It's a really common, web stack. So I'm excited. I'm glad I challenged myself in this way to do it this way. I'm real happy. Okay, gotta take some medicine. Okay, so Chatfield offers both languages. It's got identical test suites running identical tests in identical circumstances, completely independently implemented. And they all pass, of course. And then this is a little bit aspirational, but today we will be working on the hard part for me, which is that Chatfield runs both in the server or the browser. To run in the browser, it must be the TypeScript implementation, of course. And then we made lots of progress yesterday, but we're still not done getting this basically working. Oh God, that circular dependency. I just remembered circular dependencies. Whew. Okay. And because Chatfield is only, Chatfield returns a string to your application. Display, tell the user this, tell the user that, tell the user this. Chatfield says, all right, the data has been collected. There is no front end whatsoever to Chatfield. So hopefully it's kind of more useful and more compatible with all sorts of applications. Okay. So let's dive in. So that is the high level Chatfield. Let's dive into what happened yesterday. So this is another user suggestion. He said, hey, write up a daily, diary. In fact, I've been thinking we could synthesize this, especially because Claude Code did this. So this one here is sort of a minimal, poor, potentially, poorer version than if I do it myself. But or if I edit this after it's made. But I'd like to potentially roll up the days into a weekly summary and roll up the weeks into a monthly summary potentially, or at least a weekly summary. I think weekly summary might be nice. And of course, that's extremely easy with these tools. So what happened yesterday was that we worked on rollup a lot. Now, as usual, we're kind of side quest on side quest on side quest. So one massive, really fun side quest, which was solved, or at work I would say like sub ticket or like dependency ticket, is you know, something I'm really enjoying is if you look at the top level of the project, there's the Python implementation, there's the TypeScript implementation, and both languages do pull from these files. They share, there is shared source code across both languages, which is these prompts. And so they're simple, they're handlebars prompts. I think I want to change these file names. Maybe I want to find something better. Maybe if something that would make GitHub automatically syntax highlight properly would be pleasant. Like even if it were HTML or I don't know. So for example, here's a system prompt. I made helpers previously. These belong in a journal entry, in a diary entry. I'm looking forward to that. In fact, my plan is to use the Git history and use Claude Code to generate these daily reports going all the way back to the beginning of the project, because I've enjoyed this diary so much. What a great idea. Thank you again. Okay, so that's great. And so what happened yesterday, one of these side quests was in TypeScript, the old implementation was just open the file, go to .. /.. /.. get out of the whole source code here, get out of there, go to .. go to .. and then open this folder, open this file, read the file, easy. And of course that doesn't work on a browser. And so Claude Code did a great job yesterday building a plugin for rollup for me. So on day one or day two, something you could say, day one if we're counting like person days rather than person hours, I got a custom rollup plugin. Again, maybe there are some open source plugins which are in this area, so potentially I've got a not invented here problem, but I'm super happy. So that was solved yesterday. Whoops, so let me go back to my journal. The primary goal is to externalize dependencies, custom template bundling. That's not exactly true. That was not the goal. That's just what I checked in. Claude Code read my commits and it said this. What I would say is I mean, really, we just want this booting up and running on the browser. I just want it on the browser. I want a good build. So what I definitely learned yesterday, okay, good, this is in here. So yesterday we really clarified this distinction of having a standalone build versus a lean build. So here's the point. Here's the problem I'm trying to solve for downstream developers, for users of Chatfield. There is not a lot of browser-based LangGraph, I think, out there. There definitely is some. One of my intentions is just to kind of, I don't know, just like hang out in the LangGraph JS. Is this the right link? Yeah, this is, oh no, that's fine, LangGraph. With the LangGraph JS community, maybe follow their Discord or something. Find that community and really see. Of course, I can use tools to help, AI tools to help, crawl this, stuff like that. But what I want to do is I want to see what advanced users and beginner users, in fact, are doing in all of their circumstances. But I think it is not super common to run LangGraph.js. The reason is one reason is many of the language models today are only available through a cloud query, through a cloud API query. And there's a lot of security problems to solve to get that right. Like AWS and Azure and Google, all of this, they have pre-signed keys and all sorts of techniques to do that, to disintermediate your application. In other words, for authorization and for authentication and authorization. In other words, it is not required that the browser query your application and then you, the developer, put a lot of work into servicing these queries simply by, roughly speaking, proxying them or forwarding them back to a backend system. And then with these LLMs, you got to stream it. Streaming always makes things more complicated. So that's not I put it this way, that is not widespread. But I know for certain that it's happening. So I will have built a pretty good reference implementation to show how to do that. And so my intention then is to say, look, if you're building web applications and you want to use Chatfield, there are two, again, in the same way that I feel we must support Python developers and we must support JavaScript developers or runtimes, we must support standalone people who need standalone, that is, people who are not using LangGraph or LangChain today. And so I want to tell them, oh yeah, just import Chatfield and it will include the dependencies. We've got a build for the dependencies, for like everything you would need for kind of getting started, and it's all bundled in. And so alternatively, there is a lean build. And what that is more like, it's only Chatfield. And then the developer is responsible for bundling or otherwise, like pulling in or, referencing or, solving the dependencies themselves. So that gives lots of flexibility. I'm doing it in my HTML at the moment, but other developers, they could npm install this and they could run their own rollup, and their own rollup would say, oh, okay, Chatfield. I mean, let's look. Chatfield, if I go to TypeScript, npm ls, Chatfield has all of these dependencies. Actually, this is not bad. And .m, these are dev dependencies. This is way better than I thought. This is great. This is great. Yeah, this is not bad. This is a really okay. Now OpenAI is going to have a lot. Is it dash R, dash big R, little r? How do I recursively? I thought it was worse. Let me not get sidetracked. So this is not perfect today, but it is much improved since yesterday, much more clear. This custom rollup plugin is working very well with the templates. I'm happy. I was very nervous. Something I say a lot to people is never, ever solve two problems at the same time, or three or four, that's worse. You can, always solve one problem at a time. It's so difficult. Is it Pike's Law? Pike's Law? Do you know this Pike's Law? No, no, no. What is the law about debugging is different than programming? It's not Pike's Law. Kernighan's Law. Kernighan's Law. I picked the wrong author. Kernighan's Law. Yeah, yeah, I believe this. Debugging is twice as hard as writing code. So if you're as clever as possible when you write your code, you are by definition not smart enough to debug your own code. So he's kind of learning. I mean, this is like late 70s, I think, something like that, or early 80s. He's, they're learning the profession, the engineering of it. They're learning the engineering of it. And so I definitely believe this. I'm not ashamed to check in, just kind of, explicit, clear, executable pseudocode, as they say in Python, and not get too clever. So what that means, sorry, just to carry on, is this was solving two problems at the same time a little bit, and we got lucky. I still have not changed my opinion, but I got lucky and it did a great job. So now we have a plugin which basically it'll sort of pre-process when we're building, when rollup is running, and it will go into all of these prompts and it will basically read all of them, and it will then kind of place them into the source code of TypeScript just as big strings. And so the TypeScript code loads in those strings and everybody's happy. So, whoops, let's get back on track. Presumably I'll get better at running through this and not, doing it in a timely way. I think my intention was 60 seconds. So, and then I think these are all too many details. It doesn't matter. You read by the time you read all of these specific details, you could almost just go read the diffs. And I don't even know about this success. We're declaring victory here. I don't think these summaries. So that's the diary. That is exactly what happened yesterday. So we will carry on today. Good, I'm glad I started early. Okay, so where I'm going to carry on is I'm going to answer Sid's question. He said, how can I help? How can I get started? So I can show you how to get started for sure, and then it will be in this video for now. Hopefully we can document it. In fact, before I forget, one way you can help and anyone can help is when you are getting started, you have fresh eyeballs, fresh perspective. You don't know, I have this curse of knowledge. I don't know what's easy and difficult. I don't know what's confusing and clear, because I know like every word of this README and so on. And so you can tell me, I don't understand this part is unclear. Anything about, it's not about checking in source code or submitting pull requests. If you say, hey, as a developer, I'm not successful with your project, and this is everything I know, typical bug report, this is what I did, this is what I expected, this is what happened instead, is your basic bug report, or, issue report. That is something I can never do again, basically, with Chatfield, unless I stop developing it for years and then return back, something like that. And so that is a massive value any new person can give to an experienced person on any project, is say, hey, from a novice perspective, this is what I see. And so with Chatfield, it would be just basic beginning, basic development environment. Here's how I'm trying to run it. Does it run on Windows? Does it run on Mac? So as you can see, I am on a basic Linux system here, partially because I had a extra like El Cheapo PC from Amazon. But also I wanted all free software, all open source, all accessible. I know I'm heavily using Claude Code and LLMs, but I believe these will be accessible soon. I believe all developers must use an LLM all day, every day, basically. Just like a search engine, just like search. It's just like search. It's an advanced way to work with text to do your job. And open source models will be great. Open source Claude Code will be great. It will be great someday for sure. I mean, if GCC can become great, and anything can. So I'm optimistic. So please give feedback from the fresh perspective, from your fresh perspective. The second way any new person or any person on the project can help is you can put a chat in the stream. A chat message in the stream is easy, which is ask questions or what am I doing, and especially ask, could I use it this way? Or I want to do something like this or that. Does this fit? Because I am assuming the real world requirements, For me, it's Vibe DevOps. It's if I want to prompt and get DevOps, the costs are much higher. It's not like vibe coding. There's very high cost, very high risk, very high consequences and high stakes. And so it's just not enough to prompt and go and prompt and go. There must be pushback and clarification. And so my intention is to use Chatfield to be to hit the sweet spot of like accepting people's requests, but pushing back with either certainly clarifying questions, clarifying scope, maybe alternative ideas, anything like that. I believe Chatfield can get me there. So I plan to use it for Vibe DevOps. I want to say, hey, I want a data pipeline that pulls my YouTube stream transcript and then, extracts issues and drops issues, creates issues in GitHub and, whatever, emails are copied to me or something, and I want that on all three clouds, for example. And I want a cost estimate right now before we even run Terraform, and I like whatever. And then whatever, generate video. I definitely want to use, I love Comfy UI. I believe Comfy UI is a brilliant idea. It's early days. It's hard to see its full potential, but that's my personal use case. So I want to use Chatfield to do project scoping, project planning and scoping for DevOps, for MLOps, for data, for what I know, which is, they say, write what you know, right? Write what you know. I know how to build, Databricks, Snowflake, and ML on a cloud for sure. So that's maybe my starting point. I want to have more fun by doing YouTube transcripts rather than electronic medical records, but that's what I want to do. And so anyone either watching or if you find Chatfield on GitHub or if you find Chatfield on YouTube, either leave a comment after the video is perfectly fine, or leave a message in chat saying what you want to do, what you might do or plan to do, or could it do this or could it do that? All of that is, again, this is something I can never do by myself ever, basically, is know other people's real actual on the ground needs. So that is very valuable for anyone, technical or non-technical, to help. And then finally, use the software and provide feedback in that way. So let's dive into that. Let's use Chatfield. So now what I will do, because it's in GitHub, but it is not like published in an easy way. And furthermore, the documentation, this might be even, yeah, I don't even want to read this. Yeah, I don't want to read this. Don't read that. Don't read that. I think if it's all uppercase, just don't read it. Just don't read it. Okay, so let's just start. Let's just start. And I might add a few commits here and there to smooth out some rough edges. I know exactly how I've done this a million times. So let's start. So what I'm going to do is open like a new, oh, this is nice. I was testing my audio. Oh, let's test audio again. I've done this a million times. So let me, hello. Okay. Yeah, I think it's working. Oh, this is nice. Okay, I think audio is working. So I don't want to lose this audio. So I'll open a new terminal. I wonder if I could make, do I have time? How does it work here? Profile, whoops, Claude Code, TypeScript. Yeah, can I do this? That does not work. What is it? Preferences? Let me see if I can do another profile real quick. Plus, let's call this like example or new, like example or onboarding. Let's call it onboarding. So we'll have a profile called onboarding. This is just colors and stuff, so it's fine. Let's just choose, can I just choose something solarized dark? Ah, right, and I remember I did this just yesterday personally. Profile, let me change it to onboarding. Right. Yeah, great. Solarized dark. Ooh, it's a little hard to read. Let me change it. Tango dark? Ooh, great, Tango dark. Okay, is that the same as my TypeScript? I don't care. Yeah, let's go. We gotta go. GNOME dark. So which one is my TypeScript? My TypeScript is GNOME dark, so we'll do Tango dark. I know this is tedious. Preferences, okay. Let's do Tango dark and move on. Okay, so this will be the window, and what I will do is I'll start just a whole new project. So if I type Python, this is going to fail. Right. Python 3 is installed on Linux here, but the command Python 3. Now if I type node, this will work because I have installed NVM. I've been using NVM for years. And so I've installed Node onto my, I think. Yeah. So this is, so what I'm saying is on Linux, this is not a system package. This is not a package from Ubuntu. I've done it this way. Typically Node is very like portable and standalone and kind of easy, and NPM. So Node is usually, Python is a bigger kind of ops problem than Node. Now Python is also installed. This is the system Python, which Python 3, that's going to be user bin Python 3. Oh, okay. So this is the Ubuntu Python 3. Oh, and some of these techniques might be a little bit old fashioned. I'm going to use pip. I will not be using UV or any of these things. And then similarly, I will use npm. I will not use pnpm or yarn, just because I know how you can be successful this way. And if you can share, hey, here's how to do this project with pnpm or yarn, that's great. I welcome any feedback like that. There's a lot to do. At the moment, I'm not on a pnpm side quest or a yarn side quest. I want to get other things done. As I've said many times before, with these early immature projects, immature is not bad, but I mean, literally, I just, worked on this a few hours, fewer than 100 hours probably. With these immature projects, like I want to see end-to-end like problems solved, or I want to see something working end to end. So it's less at the moment. It's less important that I'm the tool chain is a little bit less important at the moment. It would be a premature optimization for me to do that. So here's the point. This window represents any new user or others, anyone except me, and they're just going to get started with Chatfield. So I have Git, of course, that's also just from Ubuntu. So let me do what I've done my whole life is I have a source directory in my home directory, so I just see source. Other people do it a million different ways. Let's change it. So I'll say like, I'll just make one called, let's do desktop, just for no reason. I'll make something called code. Okay, so here we are. So, I mean, yeah, it's somewhat nice. I can, browse it here. And then browse my desktop. So here's my desktop. Yeah, there's literally nothing here. If I minimize stuff. Yep, there's this one folder. And in the folder is nothing. Yes. So we'll start there. So let's go. All right. Well, let's see if I can just do it myself. HTTPS, let's say. GitHub.com JHS Chatfield. Let's just see if that works. So that should, yeah, of course you can fork Chatfield and clone your own copy, and then you can use your credentials for Git or whatever. This should work. So this is a read-only copy, right? If I do this, right? So now I made a change. I think I will not be able to push this. Yes, good. Okay. So let me delete this whole thing and clean it up and start over. I'm playing around. Oh, you gotta do that, okay. So we'll start over. Nothing in here, and I'll just clone it back down. Okay. So now we're in Chatfield. Let's do this code dot, right? Ooh, yeah, good. So we're starting new Visual Studio Code. Yes. Cool. Okay. So here we are. This should look familiar. Here's the Python code. And here's the TypeScript code. Here's the Chatfield like core implementation part. And so on. The prompts are all here. You can click it and, of course, edit the code because now you're in Visual Studio. So this is something I think I'm going to edit and correct. You need an LLM. At the moment, OpenAI is the easiest. In fact, I think at the moment, Chatfield only supports OpenAI. Right. It would be very easy to add more, but that's the end-to-end thing I'm talking about. Let's get it working with one route, one path, and then build everything out as needed. So you need an OpenAI API access. If you want to start a conversation or ask about using other ones, that would be a great conversation. So let me see if I just log into OpenAI. Did I not bookmark? Not the API reference. API keys, here we are. Let's go here. Right, let me log in. Cool. Yes. So these API keys, this is what I use. And so you will need to put this secret key into a file in your project. the environment file. Now, what I want to do is document what that should look like. Let's maybe go to GitHub and do it in here. So if I go to env.sh, ooh, you know, it'd be nice would be to run this. So we run .env.secret. Yeah, I think I know what I can do. Can I make this thing? Can I make Copilot make edits for me? I'm going to make this thing crash. You must build this .env.secret file here. Let's try it. Let's see if that works. Oh, thank you. Very good. Very good. Okay, and by the way, while I'm looking at this, if you use ZSH or ZSH, use bash. If things are not working the way you see it working for me, that may be because I think a lot of Mac people end up on ZSH for various reasons. Right. This is perfect. And what I also want to do, oh, it just evals it like that, right? I see. Could I do .env? Let's do this. I'm going to go on a little side adventure here. So now I'm back in my normal code. Let's see. .env.json. Foo equals bar. Nice. Just do that. So, yeah, .env. So there was some weird, like, yeah, was it export? Oh. Oh yeah, it's Python. Which .env? Yep. And so it's doing list. Oh, it's doing a list command. Right, dash format. So can I do this? .json. .env list options. Let's try this. Change the order. Now I wanted to show only the keys. Export, we did that already. That's in the script here, yeah. Shell. I see. So we could do shell and then do like this. I don't know if I want to. Equals with anything all the way to the end of the line becomes nothing. So then you'll just get your variables out. I like that. Although, I know what I want to do. Okay. We're going to do this. And we're going to, I'm going to print these to standard error. Next. Or anything else. The match is greedy. in case a secret value contains an equals character, right? All right, let's just do that. Good, I'm gonna make it switch from Perl. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. Wait, do that. Update the code. Do it, what are you doing? Don't tell me. Okay, thank you. Okay, cool. So I want to check this in and then say this is the way to get started. So now it will not, it will remind you if this is missing. Oh good, show secret vars. Wonderful. I was thinking about that. That's great. That's great. That's great. So we run and only process non-empty lines that contain equals. I mean, that's easy. Okay, that's fine. I think we don't need this if here. I'm backing that out. What does that do? Then, yeah, there's the wild do. Yeah, okay. Done. Let's see if that works. Let's try that. So how do I check this in now? What's that? Download? No. I want to check it in. I'm ready. I'm ready. Wait, what are you doing? Nope. I want to check it in. Wait, let me check it in. What are you doing? Am I dumb? Oh, whoa. Diff. Yes, thank you. Copy code? Download code? Okay, let me download it also. I'm nervous. So are you not going to let me check this in? Okay. We'll see if it can do it for me. Huh? What is it doing? What is it doing? You're wasting my time. What are you doing? Okay, whatever. I already copied the code change, so let's just change it. I've never used Copilot here online, so that was fun. So let's just edit it. Make it bigger. Okay. Paste. All right. Definitely use bash. This is not going to work on a Z shell. So then, env.secret. So then this is an old error. Oh, no, this is new. Wait, this should be sourced, not executed is kind of in the wrong spot. Let's put that there. Okay. I promise this will be helpful. Okay. Whatever. Let's just change. Let's just save that. What is that? env.sh. Commit. Oh, nice. Ah, thank you so much. Why extended? No. You're going to make me delete. Commit directly. Okay, we're committing in. Okay, so let's pull that down. So this commit, here we go. If it's missing, throw an error. Otherwise print. And then otherwise this eval moves down here. Ah, I see this variable's been changed. Okay, good. Good. So that's fine. So one thing I wanted to do is let's just change it. So env.secret, let's change that to JSON. So then if I run it, .env.sh. Ah, right. I gotta do this. Export show secret errors, something like that. Wonderful. Okay, so now that I know that's secure, I'm going to change this back. .env.secret. Yes. So that's, we can delete. So now when I source it, yes, it's printing out all the keys you need to run Chatfield. That's why I did all this. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is make a, let's say maybe in the documentation. Oh, I know what I do. Let's make Claude Code do this for me. So Claude, dangerously skip permissions, create a short MD file in documentation about how to set up, about the need to create a project level .env.secret file. So then let me paste my, let's do this. Include a copy paste example as a starting point for users. Like easy to read and like clear to read and understand and edit. Here are all the keys with my notes. Okay. So this is optional, required for begin with mandatory keys and then have below. Okay. So that's optional. That's required for using Anthropic for evaluations only. Lang Smith, I think this is optional. Trace, required to trace the agent on, what is it, Lang Smith? Smith.langchain.com. Okay. This is mandatory for open router API key optional, required for evaluations. And YouTube is unused. Omit this. Off we go. I don't know if that was any faster. That's basically the documentation. Good. So I almost thought about making a separate YouTube stream just to have a, maybe I'll still do it, just to have a specific video that's like, here is how to get started. What I will do is once I get all of this working, I'll start it all over and do the whole process again, like start to finish in one go on the video, so that it's not like me helping write documentation and then getting back to the onboarding and then documentation. At work, we would not have that luxury. I would just make you watch me update documentation and make you pull it down or whatever, for sure. Okay, done. So let's just push it up. Well, let's read it. Wait, what? This is way too long. So let's do this. Mandatory environment files. All right. Chatfield requires API keys. Yes, 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 yes. Excuse me? No. No, we're not going to go that. We're not going to go that crazy. Bash? Oh, that's interesting because .env kind of looks like bash syntax. So that's great. Okay. Mandatory. I don't know if I like this. Let's just make it. How about this? That's a little better. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it. Boop. Boop. Very cool. Better. Okay. Mandatory keys. Open API key. Required for Chatfield's LLM backend. Get your key from. Are you kidding? No, we're going to keep it simple. What looks good? Yeah, perfect. Yes, your key here. Wonderful. Let's just maybe quote it. Right? So then optional. Oh, wow. Is that true? OpenRouter.ai/keys? Oops. Yes, that is true. That's great. So let me keep that. That's kind of neat. It did it consistently for me. Boom. So then let's just not do quotes. That's fine. Let's just do it. Okay. So mandatory. Let's just do this. Mandatory. Optional. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Anthropic API key. Only needed for using Anthropic models and evaluations. Langsmith and OpenRouter. So these are all for development. For Chatfield development. So the point is, if you're using Chatfield for yourself, then you do not need these. If you want to make Chatfield better or build Chatfield itself, then you probably do want these keys. Okay, quick start. We don't care. We don't care. Python. No. What is this? No. Okay, let's do that. All right, let's go see how that looks as documentation. Okay. Good. Chatfield requires API keys to function. Create a .env.secret. You must paste your values for all mandatory keys. Yes. So you only need the OpenAI key. And then if you want to evaluate the prompts, you can use OpenAI, actually, but if you want Anthropic, then you need to set this value. Sorry, this variable name is non-standard. Need to fix that, but this is what it uses in the code at the moment. Similarly, if you want to see Langsmith trace these out, you need to set that key. And then if you want to use OpenRouter to use other models like Gemini or Grok or any of the OpenRouter keys, then you need that. So let's go back to, so what I will do is I will copy my old file into my new file. So you will need to do that. Maybe make it bigger. Is that preferences? If I do my onboarding, is the font size? Oh yeah, font size. Monospace 12. Let's do 11, 12, select. So what if I do, oh, there it is. So then if I change the font size, does it change? Come on, Schwartz. 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's try 18, 16. Select. Oh, good. So that's the default font size. That's good, nice and big. Good, good, good. Good, so my onboarding profile has a large font size. Okay, so I will copy mine to here. And then let's look at that in Claude, in a Visual Studio Code. So here it is. I've copied my file, and then you will create your own, right? If I, oh, let me just do it in here. So if I go here and pull down, oh yeah, document. Yep. That's the latest. So in the documentation is this example file you can copy and paste, and you just need to set your OpenAI key. So I've got my file with that set in there now. So I should be good to go for Chatfield. I think that's the secrets. So let's move on. So for Python, you create a virtual environment. If I say which Python, it will say there's none. So I'll go Python 3 is the Ubuntu built-in, -m-venv, and then I'll say .venv. What this means is, this is hard to read, run the virtual environment tool in Python and create a .venv. Oops, this is actually wrong. This is wrong. That's incorrect. You change into Python. Ooh, I need to make, okay, I know what to do. Claude Code directive. Listen to this entire transcript and capture all of my words about onboarding and synthesize them into one markdown file. Thank you. Okay. Let's keep going. So you go into the Python folder and make a virtual environment. That's how that works. Okay, so that's done. So now if I look at Claude, if I look at Visual Studio Code, there is a virtual environment folder in Python. Now, typically, let's see if I open Python, what you need to do with Visual Studio Code, let me see if I can just Control-Shift-P here. Yeah, if I can get to this prompt and say, is it Python? Yeah, select interpreter. I want to select this interpreter, and it is not here because I think it's not top level. So if I enter it, browse your file system. Let's browse my file system. Let me cancel. Bind. What's the difference? What's the difference? Oh, this is one big button. Okay, it's one big button. Okay, so let's go. So it is not the documentation. It is Python. Does it want the .venv? Hey. Hey. Yeah, just type .venv. This is definitely, oh, yeah, code. Yeah, desktop code, Chatfield. Python. The .venv is definitely in here. Is it not showing hidden? It's definitely not showing hidden. Good. Select. Nope. Yeah. There is the dot, and then can I do it? /.venv. I could do this, huh? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. /bin/Python. So here's the Python there. That is correct. Okay. Now all this did is in the settings.json, I believe it would set, oh no, this is, it's not in the settings.json. It's in my interpreter. So if we do Python select interpreter, now it's in here. .venv/bin/Python. So what that means is, if I press escape, stop. Yes, okay. What that means is, if I open a shell, yes, it's activated the correct virtual environment for me. So now when I type which Python inside Visual Studio, the virtual environment is already available to me. So the next step is installing dependencies for Chatfield. That's easy. Good news there. There's no requirements.txt file. All of Chatfield's dependencies come in because Chatfield is already basically a proper Python package, and it already has kind of metadata in here with its dependencies and its dev dependencies. So what? Oh, notebook. Wow. I didn't know about all that. So there's test. So there's dev. Yeah, let's just do dev. So the way to get all the dependencies you need is just to pip install it this way. And this is weird. This is definitely not documented. But this is, you do this, pip install -e dot. So let's actually see, does -e have a better option? I think it means editable. Let's see if I can find that. Nope. Extra. -c. Did I miss it? -e editable. Perfect. So we'll do that instead to make it more clear. Pip install -editable dot. So what that will do is that will install Chatfield into Python, and the Python is the virtual environment, and dot means install this project itself. And so editable means it will both be a proper Python package. It can be imported by your other projects. And also it will be, if you make changes to the code, they will instantly be reflected the next time you import them. It's an editable package. So you run that in the Python project rather than the top level. So that should pull in the dependencies. There's Langsmith. Oh, I wish Langsmith could be a dev dependency, but that's okay. It's a little bit less of a problem on the server side and with Python. So that is the dependencies installed on the Python virtual environment for Chatfield. Now, well, let's run it. Sometimes I've got bugs and there's dependencies incorrect or not declared. So let's see. So with the dependencies set and the environment set, let's try to run an example. So then you go to the examples. Let's see, let's try a couple of things. You could browse to the examples here. You could click on favorite number. And then I've got, it's a bit of a mess, but if you go to the debugger You could debug, what is it? It's debug current Python file. I can never find it. Current file, here it is, current file. So this should work. If I just press F5, this should work. Okay, good. Okay, good, .env. Good, so .env, so this is my own bug. This is why I'm gonna restart and do this whole thing again shortly. This is one of the bugs that I mentioned. This is great. So if I do this, like grep .env from like anything, it is there, pip freeze, grep .env. Maybe it's not installed. Yes. Ah, okay, I think this is correct. I think this is correct. You don't need .env to run Chatfield. That's correct. Here's the point. If you want to run these examples, now you're in Chatfield development a little bit. I don't know. That's how it works right now. So what that means, very easy. Just install more packages when you do that pip install. Wait, what am I doing? Light LLM. Where was that pip install? Source. Did I not run that pip install? Oh, I think I ran it in a different window. Yes, 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 here. So when I did this pip install, you do editable, you do dot, and with square brackets, you say dev. So we're installing dev packages, dev dependencies also. So then .env will be in here. Deep eval, Google, I saw something. Yes. So all of these dependencies are needed for developing, but not for using Chatfield if you want to just build your own service. But we'll step through all of it. So then hopefully .env, is it alphabetical? No, it is not. I think .env is in here. Good. Whew, okay, okay. Oh, that looks alphabetical, so let's go look. C-click, coverage, doc, wait, I don't see it. Oh, but it's python.env, isn't it? py, dates.env, here it is, yes. Okay, so wonderful. So if you want to run the example, install the dev dependencies as well, and then off we go. So back here, I can close this window. Whatever. So let me go back here and I'll press F5 again, right? Start debugging. Could be another error. That's why it's good to occasionally do this. Every time I onboard someone, there's little issues here. Okay, good. OpenAI API key is missing. Yes, yes. Okay, I know exactly what's happening here. Okay. So for me, because I'm streaming this live, I must never disclose or show my API keys ever on the screen because the screen is captured and the screen is broadcast live. So the way I'm working, this is a little bit non-standard, is you just source, anytime you're going to run Chatfield development, Chatfield development is, reads this API key. If you're just importing Chatfield in your own project, then you just need to set your API key yourself. But if you're in Chatfield development, then you do it this way. And so what that means is, there's already a script. You just press dot, I press dot, or you can type source ./env.sh. Oh, I missed it. Yeah. So this env.sh file, this is at the top level of the project. And what this will do is this will automatically read in all of these secrets for you, and then it will export them out. It will activate them. It will export them in this terminal. Only in this terminal. It's all kind of temporary. So with this done, now the keys are set, and so I can rerun my project or my example. So I'll click go again. You can run it yourself, but this is an easy way. I'm not planning on debugging, but this is an easy way to run the program, the example. Wonderful. I want to delete that Langsmith out. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do for sure to make sure that it still works. So now the example is working. So this mathematician is running, and here is the Chatfield definition. Here's the Chatfield form for this conversation. It's just in this, this one file runs. And so here's all of the Chatfield. So it's going, so Alice is the mathematician. So that's why it's saying something like this. And then I'm a number enthusiast. Bob is a number enthusiast. Alice, A for Alice, A for agent. This is the agent, and this is Bob is the user, right? So I am Bob right here typing. And so then it's asking for my favorite number, of course. And then later it will also ask for a reason. Of course, because it's conversational, I can say both. For example, I'm well decided that it is 99. The reason is it's the greatest 2-digit number. I've felt this way all my life. Right? I don't know. What I want to do is make it lock in that answer. Yay. Yay. So that's the example. Let me make it bigger. So that's the example running. So what's happened is when I said the answer is 99 and I provided the reason, of course, in a conversation, if you imagine a form, the interviewer, it would capture both fields at once. And that's exactly what it's done. And then since both fields are captured, the way the example runs is it just says while not interview dot underscore done is a little helper. And so I've only really tested up to, really the conversation should never end. The application can cut the conversation or say goodbye and all of that. So there's no need, but the way that this works is when the interview is done, which the interview is this Chatfield object. When this thing is done, then what is this? Run interactive. Oh, I see run interactive and run automated. I see I'm running interactive. So then what happens? After you run interactive, it displays results. Yeah, okay, display results. And so it just runs this underscore pretty helper, which pretty prints the form. So what you see here, this is like debug. This is log messages. Sorry, it's still in heavy development. And so what happened is the LLM, OpenAI, GPT-4 or something, did execute this tool, and it passed both values of the form, and furthermore, including their conversions, their transformations. And I know that 99 passes this because I've struggled in the past. This is just annoying. Whoops. If I do this, there's validation rules that say no boring numbers. So when I say 2, it won't let me input 2. What does it say? Validation must reject obscure numbers, reject common numbers like 7, reject cliche like 42. So 99 passes this validation rule. So that's the validation happening. And then of course there's conversion, my favorite part, the transformations. So at the end of the conversation, Chatfield has printed the full data object, the full interview object, including all of the casts, all of the typecasting, all of the conversions. And so there are 2 fields, sort of 2 primary fields. The favorite number, notice this is the string 99. All primary Chatfield data is strings because it's a conversation. So strings in and strings out. Similarly, the reason here is captured. And then, of course, with the favorite number, there are many, many casts that I've done, casting to integer. So then this is the integer 99. If your application needs an integer, this is how you would do that. Similarly for float, for a percent, I've converted it to a 0 to 1 range, translating into languages, all through this prompting, right? As lang fr, right? Where is that? As bool. Oh, here it is. Easy, easy, easy. So that is all of these languages translated. Gao, sip, Gao, 9, 10, 9. It says 9, 10, 9, 9. I assume this is correct, and so on. So converting to Boolean, is it even? Wait, this is an error unless, wait, as bool even. Oh, wow. Wow, that may be a bug, but let's keep going. Or like that may be an LLM issue or something. That's interesting. It is not prime. It is not a perfect square. It is not a power of 2. Longhand is 99. Its factorization is these numbers. 3 times 9 times 11 times 33, I believe, is 99. No. 33 times 3 is 99, and 9 times 11 is 99. Yes, that's how that works. These categories, the thing that's nice about these categories, categorization as one, as maybe, is this is a great way to ask the LLM, like, what do I do next? Did the user give me a partial answer? How could I categorize or characterize, or at work I would say bucket, the response? Does it fall into the tiny bucket or the small bucket? Potentially, it's that, it can be multiple buckets. It is possible to be odd and prime, of course, and so on, or even and prime for that matter, and so on. So that is all of Chatfield. That is all of the example here. That is how typecasts work. That is how validation works. Oh, interesting. This hint is a little silly, but that's okay. So that is Python. So that's running as a developer. But what I could do now is something like this. I could make my own project, my Python project, right? Let's code this up. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Right? Now, if I do something really cheeky, like for example, well, is this literally empty? So now this is a whole new project. So I'll just say touch my Py project. .py. Okay, so I'll just make one little file and bring it over here. And here I'll say import Chatfield. Or like, what is it? From Chatfield, import Chatfield. I think that's how that works. I'll say form equals Chatfield, right? I don't know. Let's say dot, what is it? Field dot description. Let's say dot my example form. So dot, yeah, field. Let's see if I can remember my own syntax. Name, right? Dot description. Yeah, your name. Yeah. Dot build. Is that how that works? Okay. Print form. Let's just see if this works. So I import Chatfield. Now, my IDE here doesn't have this wired up, but over here in Python, this should work. I'm still... Oh, I haven't activated my environment. So if I activate it here in this shell, and I cd out of here, so now I have the Chatfield project, which I've cloned down, and I have my new example project. I should just be able to say Python, my project. Whoops. Yep, Python. Yes, it imported Chatfield. Wonderful. So, like, I could say, like, first message equals, oh, I need an interviewer. Yes. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. .go. Print first message. Oh, and then we could go print like a bunch of lines, and then we could go print form._pretty. Right. So if I save that, and now let's run it over in this terminal. Oh, OpenAI error. Yes, totally. So we could do like this, import OS, kind of do like this. Yeah, exactly. So I could set it to something wrong, and then it's just going to query, and it's going to get a permission denied. Wonderful. 401. This is working. This is working. So if you bring in your own OpenAI key, this will work. Let me leave this here. Or let's do this. Yes. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we'll do like that. Oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah, let's do this. I'm trying to make them super minimal. No. So if there is a key, do it and print the first message. Or I know. Else. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So we'll print that. Good. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Let's just tighten it up. That's it. So let me run that. So that should say you need a key. The API key client option must be set. Oh, interesting. Oh, the API key must be set by passing API key or by setting it. Oh, okay. I wonder if I can do this. Maybe I could do like this. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Let's see if that works. I just want to trick this thing into... Okay, not set. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, okay, I know what I want to do. Let's make it an empty string. Let's try that. So that is populated. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So I'll keep this. This could be a little example that I use. No OpenAI keys set yet. Yeah. Name and like, let's say field 8. Yes, exactly. And then, no, it's as int, right? That's how that might look. Name and age. Yeah, great. Great. Oh, can I do, instead of description, can I do, is it type? Let's see if, I always forget that. Is it type or is it name? It's type, okay. So let's do that. Okay, good. So that tricks the OpenAI client. So this is like a good starting, let me kind of do this. This is like a good starting project. This is good. So the point is this shows that with one file and like one import, you're ready to use Chatfield. And it's important to remember, if I say which Python, I'm using the Chatfield's virtual environment. So that's important. You can either use Chatfield's virtual environment that you set up for development, that's fine. Or if you don't, deactivate, right? So now there's none. And I would do like Python 3. So let me just pull up that same command. Yeah, so if I make a new one here, that's fine. So now this will not run. Yeah, and so then the way that works is you just CD into Chatfield. Here, and you don't do virtual environments, the virtual environment is already ready, right? I've just moved directories and then pip install again. Yeah, like that, except yes. So so that's going to install it onto my virtual environment in my other project. So that is how you could use Chatfield as a user and not as a developer. In fact, I could kill this. Let's do this. Python. Oh, yeah, in my project. Hold on, deactivate arm-rf.vm. Let's just start over. So we make a new virtual environment, source it, activate it. Okay, and then Chatfield/Python. We don't do pip install dev. We just install without dev. We just install normal dependencies. This should work to use Chatfield, not to evaluate its own prompts and all of that. And this is easier. Okay, so if I cd, so I'm back in my project. This should work. Unless I've got bugs as a developer of Chatfield. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that works. So I don't have my OpenAI key, but if I could set it, there's no .env now anymore. If I could set it, then it will let's do it. Pip install python.env. Is that how it works? .env -f. I'm gonna pull my other project. Run Python my project. It seems Python. Oh, oops! Did I do it wrong? I definitely did. I think I did it wrong. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Aha. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now I can run it. Good. Now, and then if I run it normal, it still fails. Or it'll run, but it won't have the API key. Now, one thing I wanted to do is do this grep OpenAI API key from my project, from Chatfield. Ooh, that was dangerous. So there's one line there. So if I send that to here, So I only have the API key here. This file is 1 line long. And so now if I use that, it should still work. What I want to make sure is you don't need those Langsmith keys. You just need the OpenAI key. Awesome. Yeah, I have 0 Langsmith in my environment. This will not work. And if you click it, I think it also will not work because this is development. This is my account, so this won't work. It's going to say 404 though. Yes. Yeah. Because I don't have my API key. Wonderful. So this is totally working in Python. So Python's super clear. So let me get out of here. Deactivate. I think I'm going to make Claude Code pull that in and make that part of the documentation. So we're back to Chatfield. So that's Python. That's basically Python. Next, TypeScript. Which node? So I still have node involved. So if we go to TypeScript, I think I just npmi. That was super fast. So next, from installing the packages, I think you can get, let's go to an example. I think you're going to need .env. Oh no, the examples load .env. So let's just see. npx tsx favorite number. See what happens. Please set your OpenAI key in .env. Okay, let's read that code. Let's close this Python project here. Oh, a new environment. Sorry. Okay. Oh, no, this is normal Chatfield. Where did my Visual Studio Code go? Oh, let me just, oh yeah, this is it. Okay. So, let's go into TypeScript. Now, is that example? Let's just go read that. What is it doing? .env. Oh, look, there it is, .env. .secret. Let's just make it do that. Favorite number. Let's see if that's just a bug on my side. Wonderful. Oh, God. Yeah. Node is easier. Python's easier to write and Node's easier to like DevOps. It's that simple. Okay, so awesome. If I say 42, it's going to say it's cliche. Yeah, it's cliche. So that's awesome. 99 is same interview, and it's going to say why. See if that works. Is that a reason? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Wonderful. Perfect. I think pretty printing in TypeScript has a little bit of a bug. The pretty printing in Python works better. I think I may have a small bug in pretty printing in Python in a TypeScript. So that's TypeScript. Now, if you're asking how to use it in the browser, that's today's work. So it runs on the server. For sure. I mean, what you could do is similarly, if we go here and we say, make dir my like TS project, let's say. And so then what I would do is I would say npm link / Chatfield / TypeScript. I think it's that. So now if I say node or TSX, oh, npx TSX, oh, this also won't work. Oh, it did. Oh, it installed. Did it install it for me? Yeah, it did. No, it did not. Okay, whatever. Import Chatfield from Chatfield/core. Cannot use statement. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Const can't import it this way. Chatfield equals await import Chatfield/core. Like that. Okay, module not found. Let me fix this. This might be bugged since yesterday. Cannot find modules. ESM. Let me just see if I can fix that. Maybe that's a real bug in my code. If I go to TypeScript, maybe package.json. Node, yeah, this ESM here, right? Import. Maybe it could just be the real code base. Instead of dist, it'd be ./Chatfield, maybe? Is there an index.js here? Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if that works. Let's just do that. Cool. Oh. What? Chatfield/core? Oh, excuse me. Let's see if that works. Okay, no. At Chatfield/core. Oh, sure, already declared. Sorry, why am I doing all this const? That does work. It's undefined. Okay, so let me just do a quick git diff. Let me change Windows back to here. Let's see. Where did my changes start? Like 2 days ago. So from here, let's see what changed in that roll up. Or no, package.json. So main changed. Oh no, these were always dist. Maybe I just need to what if I just compile arm-rf dist? Whoa. Oops. TSC. Yeah. npm run build node ESM, let's say. Build the. Okay. So now we have some node ESM modules. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Back to package.json. Oh my God. I'm in the wrong repo. That's why it wasn't working. I'm in the wrong repo. Stupid. Oh, no. I npm symlinked. No, I did not. No, I did not. Let's go look at it. I symlinked from my clone. npx tsx npm link. Yeah, I symlinked from my own clone. So I'm editing the wrong code here. Oh, my TS project. Okay, good. I see. Let me go back to Chatfield. Yes. That is a correct change that needs to go in. Oops. Package.json. No. Pull it back out. Okay, so we're back to normal. Dist, np xts, no, npm run build node esm, is that it? Okay, so there they are. So then if I push D back here, through the magic of npm link, yeah, Chatfield/core. Oh, look at that. It's linking. Let's destroy that. npm link. It's doing the same thing. Okay. npx tsx. I just want to require it in as a developer. Let's try this. Chatfield / interview. Oh yeah, I always do that. Oh. Undefined. And then, but what if I do this? Whoops, what's going on here? What if I do this? Error. Blah. Yeah, okay. That is not working. That's not gonna work. Definitely not, yeah. /disk/node/cjs. Oh, it is working that way. CJS. We could try this. I've never tried this, so this is the problem. Okay, so node imp require at Chatfield/core x equals. Hey, okay, that works. Okay, so we have an answer for node and maybe not TypeScript at the moment. And that makes sense because I've been working on the builds for TypeScript and all of that. So that kind of makes sense. I'm impressed that's great that node ran. So npx tsx. Or I know what I could do. Let's see. Let's just copy the same Python to here. TS. Okay. So then is it gone now? Code dot. So we'll open up this one and we'll edit this file. This file just needs to change to TypeScript. I wonder if I can do that. Do I have... Let's just do it myself. Let's do this. Import. Yeah, there you go. At Chatfield/core. Yes. Process.env. Yes. Let's just copy it. Now this should be like literally identical. So that's good. Oh, let form. Not literally then. Let interviewer. Fine. Is that not going to work? You're not going to like that? If. There we go. There we go. Var. Okay, fine. Console.log. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Good. So it's converted. Good. Like that. Okay, so that would be TypeScript. So let's see if that something like this, right? Be like that, surely, huh? Something like that, huh? Okay. Fine, fine, fine. Let's see how that feels. npx tsx my TS project. Hey, that's great. That's totally great. Yeah. And do I still have .env at the command line? No. Watch, let me do this. Because I don't have Python. I disabled my... So if I just well, let's not do it. Let's keep it simple. What do I want to do? No, let's do it. So my Python project .venv bin/activate. So if I activate Python, I've got the .env command line again. Or actually, I think I can do this. npx.env --help. This might work. Oh no. How do you run .env? Yep, zero dependency. .envx. Let's try that. Oh no. Encrypted? Oh gosh. A secure .env. Oh, I see. Oh, that's awesome. I don't mind that, but .env. So why is that not npx.env? Oops. Could not determine executable. Ooh. Yay. .env-cli. So then I can do the same thing. So I'll use TypeScript though. So what is that? -c -e parse the file. So that's -e my Python project. Let's just read that one. And then is it run? No, it's just -- and then the command. So let's do that. So the command will be npx tsx my script. Come on, Schwartz. Template not found. Oh, okay. This is good. This is my own bundling bug, and this is my own bundling bug upstream. So this is not your problem. So let's see if we can get this further along today. But so that's how it types. But what I want to do is have like, how would you have a completely separate project and use Chatfield? So I want to keep both of these. So that is TypeScript. I need to work on the bundle and get the bundle working in order to use the, in order for this to be a little bit better. And then that is also the Python story. So let me like kind of, I'm just going to run through it all super fast again to make it clear end to end, and then I won't do any work on stuff in the meantime. So let's do this. My Python project and my TS project. Let's move that into Chatfield. Chatfield. Like, whatever. Okay. I'm going to make Claude Code make some documentation. Let's do that. Okay. Let's just make sure. So I should have these. Whoa. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interviewer.ts. Interesting. RM TypeScript / Chatfield / star dot TS.js map. Let's try that. Not bad. Whoops, and then did I delete? Oh yeah, TS is super bad. And then I deleted these. I wonder if it's still, no, it's fine. I don't care. Okay. Fine, bring it back. Okay. Sorry. What is that? Rollup.config. Oh, good. There's my notes to myself. That's great. Oh, I know what I lost in that interviewer. I don't mind. Okay. I'm going to make Claude Code read this. And incorporate them into a like copy slash pasteable example for a developer getting started.md file in documentation. Make one getting started file for make one getting started for Python and another for TS. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make it. Yes, thank you. So I'll make it updates and documentation, and then I will follow that documentation. This happens all the time at work. As soon as something gains traction and other developers need to onboard, it's just totally, everything's brand new. You know, everything's brand new often. Or the parts that require lots of human attention are brand new. And then we're reusing like the Databricks or something. Oh, shoot, I hope my audio's been good. The parts that require lots of human attention are brand new. And then we're reusing like, I think it's working. Oh, that's not bad. It tends to write too much, but that's not bad. Why does it always capitalize like that? I don't know. So I'll let it finish this. I'll just check it in, and then I'm going to do another just start to finish getting started. Basically today, Python is working. TypeScript as a developer of Chatfield is working, and you can build examples and use it, but importing Chatfield into your own TypeScript or JavaScript project, it looks like it works with Node, but it's in heavy flux basically right now. That's the current situation. Okay. Because of this compile step that TypeScript needs. So in that way, Python is kind of easier to ship, a little easier on the DevOps in that way at the moment. Okay. Okay, we have two files. Let's, man. Like the, what is that? Oops, I keep pressing tab. Like the mandatory. Move. Okay. Good. Thank you. Good. All right. Yeah, exactly. It's already fixed. I fixed it for you because you're insane. Actually, I don't like that. I'm going to bring it back because that one was generated by Claude Code. I like all uppercase to mean Claude Code did it. Okay, thank you. So, Yeah. All right, push up some documentation. Let's go read it. Pushed it and then I read it. That's okay. No. This is all super bad. Create your first script. This is wrong though. That's good. Run your script. What's happening? Oh, that's neat. Validation. Oh, that's really cool. Close enough. Okay, so the only thing this is missing, let me see if I can, I'll make Claude Code do it in both cases. Install Chatfield. Okay, yeah. I'll make Claude Code update it. Update the Python. It is not pip. You must clone this repo, then pip install -- editable dot or dev. Then you're on. Okay. So I'll make a change that. And then let's go read TypeScript. These are not great. This is not great. Yeah, npm init, npm install, that also, yeah, same thing. It's npm link. You have to npm link it. Good. So I'm going to overwrite that real quick. Is it done? Correct. Why are there more steps now? Linked. Yep. Wait a second. It better be right here. Clone it down, yes. cd Chatfield / TypeScript. Install dependencies. npm install. Install Chatfield. Link Chatfield globally. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We can do that. npm link it globally. Chatfield / core. That should be fine. Create your project directory. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's follow that documentation. Install TypeScript dependencies. Okay. Configure API key. Okay. Let's add this. Okay, and let's do this. Yeah. Let's do that. So these are gone. Nobody look. Nobody look. Okay. These are gone. And so let me go off camera and I need to take another medicine real quick, a little allergy medicine, and then we'll keep going. We'll do the developer setup. Okay. So, oh, what? Wait, it's a huge black screen. That's terrible. Okay. I think that's right. Okay. All right. I'm back. So, let's see if that's good. Node.js 20. I don't even know. OpenAI key, see the environment setup. Yeah, I thought so. Environment underscore setup.md. Mandatory environment file.md. Wait. Oh, I turned off the wrong thing. That's what I did. Oh, and I'm sneezing. Okay. Mandatory file. Okay. I'm going to do Claude Code because I'll just make it change it. Okay, now I'll go off. Oh, I did. Hello. Okay. Okay. Do my medicine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Push that up. We're going to force another one. Nobody look. Fixed. Push. Okay. Done. Whoops. Done. So if I read it, getting started in Python says you need your mandatory environment file. There it is. Wonderful. Okay. So getting started with Chatfield in Python. Python, pip package manager, OpenAI API key. So clone the project. Oh. Whoops, next update. Oh gosh. So it is copy and pastable. Good. Push them up. Okay. Reload. All right. So in Python, the quick start is clone my repo, change into it, set up your virtual environment. Very good. Very good. Install Chatfield in editable mode. Totally good. Yes. So for create your first script, I mean, this does work. Start the conversation. Yeah. And then I love this, what's happening. That's really cool. That's really nice. I'm not so happy with some of these other ones down here running import errors or whatever. But very happy. Okay. Development mode. Yep. So okay. So Python, I'm pretty happy with. TypeScript, I don't need to make this perfect. Clone it. CD to it. Yes. Oh, was the other one CD Chatfield or CD Chatfield / Python? Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. That's bad. Edit that. It's CD Chatfield / Python. Commit. Okay, fixed. Pull it down. Okay, so that's better. Yeah, you want that virtual environment at the Python level, not at the top level. Okay, now what? Open router, let's close stuff. OpenAI keys. NVM, close stuff. Okay. What do we want? Let me get some coffee and keep going. So this is the Python we're happy with. Let's get back to TypeScript. TypeScript. So we change to the TypeScript and we run npm install. Then we run npm link. I definitely like that. I didn't do that. I like that better. I don't know if this works. If this npm link works. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the project work this way. If this currently does not work, then that's a bug. I like this, basically. So you link it in, and then we're basically happy. We're basically happy. And then here's your first form. And then exactly the same. Or compile and run using TSX. Or compile and run. Perfect. So, yes, I love all this. Okay, so this is good. So the final thing I can kind of do before I get back, this is time well spent. I haven't really spent any like onboarding time. So that's good. What is this? Oh, test harmonization. I don't think we need this. Progress summary. All right, so let's just not have it. Okay, so I know what I want to say. Chatfield, the must good, right? Must be set properly. Okay. If you are developing with it, if you are working within the Chatfield project, for example, running some examples, then let's say you must a .env.secret file in the project root directory. Here is a sample file you can use. Okay, you must paste your values for all mandatory keys. Okay, I think that's more clear. Whatever. Okay. Okay, so here's the documentation. Chatfield requires API keys to function. When using Chatfield, the OpenAI must be set properly. It is definitely my intention to support more than OpenAI, of course, but end to end, we want it working end to end. Then we prioritize. Do we want different backends? Do we want different SDKs? Do we want better evaluations? There's so much work that could be done. I can only prioritize when it's kind of all working end to end, and I can really genuinely see, firstly, this does work, but then where are the pain points? Okay, so if you're working within a Chatfield project, for example, running some examples, I'll keep it, whatever. I don't want to keep it. I have to edit it. It's going to drive me crazy. For example, running some and so I could do like this, example script running an example script, and then that could link to, where is it, documentation, like /TypeScript/examples. Does that work? Let's try that. Can I preview? Preview. Click. Yay. Totally works. So that links to the examples in the code base. So that's good. So we'll keep that. Whatever. Okay. No, no. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Close twice. Yes. Fixed typo. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Whatever. All right. Good. I'm happy. I'm basically happy. Okay. If you're working within the Chatfield project, for example, running an example script, that's fine. You must create a .env secret. Here is a sample. Yep, perfect, perfect. Okay. So, Sid, what I will do now is redo the entire onboarding process because all of many sharp edges have been sanded down. I have sanded down many of the kind of sharp edges and pain points. And so now the process should be a little bit smoother. Not smooth, it's still development. But so we're gonna begin again. What I will do, I think, oh, there was one interesting change that I made. That's a good one. Favorite number.ts. I know what I'll do. I'll make Claude Code. Check the TypeScript examples. In all cases, the .env file should be .env.secret, not just plain .env. Whoops, and then I did a full stop. I did .env full stop, right? Okay. See, this is what I mean. Like, I don't know. This may be the laziness thing. You know, people say, oh, it's going to make you lazy. I just don't know. Reading is easier than writing. You know, like, yeah, I like that, you know? And to the extent that these things are sloppy, I think we're going to, we meaning the community, not me personally, but, you know, we meaning humanity, we're going to debug the slop out of these things to a large extent. I predict it will asymptotically approach, you know, 100% or 100% meaning it will asymptotically approach like the behavior that a typical professional would hit. You know, like for example, it wouldn't omit files. That was a nasty, I mean, there was a Boolean that came out wrong just now from the LLM. I'm glad I captured that on video. I gotta go back. I still don't believe my memory. I still might have read it wrong. I don't even know if I read it right. 99 is even, and the answer came back true, or it was yeah, something like that. I gotta go check that. But that's an example where that's just not Chatfield's problem. That's the LLM's problem. And the LLMs will, I don't think that bug will really be a problem in the fullness of time or even today. Okay. Thank you so much. And perfect. I'll make it check the Python side. Okay. We're just watching Claude Code compute. This is good. This is good. Get back on my coffee here. This is all basically good. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll update. It's just, ooh, we're changing the Claude. Oh, I see. Okay, wonderful. Let's just check all that in. That's fine. Is it literally every single diff? Secrets. Yes. 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 This is TypeScript. Okay. All right. I'm going to do an audio check. I'm nervous. Yes. This is TypeScript. Okay. Watching myself. All right. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, I'm paranoid. All right. Okay. Whoa. Let's just do this. All right. So. Good. So the examples are all better. Wonderful. Okay, I think I'm ready to redo. I'm going to show an entire like developer setup process again. So what I'm going to do is totally delete, deactivate. It's going to say no. Yep. And then I'm going to delete all of this. Let me do it visually so it's just more visual. I don't know. So if I go to desktop, code, I'm just going to delete this entire folder. Is there not a delete? Move to trash. Moved to trash. Trash. Let me empty the trash. Empty trash. Okay, it's gone. If I look here, actually, I don't know what it'll say. Yeah. You see, yeah. And then it's gone. Oh, the code is there. The Chatfield is gone. I see. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So, okay. So we have in my desktop, I have a code folder, and that code folder is empty. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is follow the documentation a little bit more. Now that we've got it, something I've learned at work, output, output, output. Always, always, always be outputting. Someone told me that word for word years ago. Always make output. So I'm super happy that we have some getting started documents now from this invitation from a user to say, how do I get started? So Python is the better story. Python's a bit better than TypeScript right now for getting started. So because the build system is broken right now. So let's follow it. So I like to copy and paste when I'm following documentation, even if it's simple or whatever, to confirm that it's perfect. I've written so much documentation. I've been a developer advocate in the past for at IBM. I was a CouchDB developer evangelist, which is awesome. So my job was to not to sell, it's not sales and it's not even marketing, but to evangelize CouchDB and CloudEnt. And I wrote a lot of like example stuff like this. Here's a little SDK, here's a little tool, here's an example of how you can be successful, here's a quick win for you, and that sort of thing. And I've written a lot of documentation and like code examples and like walkthroughs and how-tos and this sort of thing. And like, it is so much work to get it like perfect down to the character. Not one character is wrong or untested in the entire document. It is so, it's like, again, it's an asymptotic, thing. It's an exponential amount of effort. And it starts with always copy and paste, always follow the documentation, literally to the letter, copy and paste it. So off we go. So I paste. Good. So then it says cd Chatfield/Python. So I do that. Here we are. I'm going to open up open up Visual Studio. Okay. So here is it. I'll just make it a little bigger and start Visual Studio Code. So this is Visual Studio Code for the new clone. Okay, so then virtual environment. Okay, here's a little bug. Here's a little bug. I'm just gonna edit it in. You see what I mean? This is exactly what I'm saying. So let's do like this. That's fine. And then if you're on another platform, if you, any audience member, feedback welcome. For success or perfect. That's my point. Note Ubuntu. Can I do this? Uses, can I do that? That might look ugly. That might look ugly. That's fine. Fine. Okay. Ubuntu uses Python 3 instead of Python. Other platforms typically use Python. Yeah, ooh, you know what I'd love if someone could do this with, you know what I see a lot of at work is Anaconda. If someone could do this with Anaconda on Windows, in fact, like, let me just make Claude Code write that down for me. Clear. Make a very short GitHub issue reminding me to like test, to at least test, or perhaps ship an example of Anaconda on Windows. On as many platforms as possible, but starting with Windows. Anaconda on Windows is a massive like community or space or addressable market for like people solving important, expensive problems with Python. You know, like there's like Azure DevOps and Kubernetes, and you know, those people are also solving important, expensive problems with Python. You know, deploying it out into the field, into the cloud or whatever. And then there's these people, and they sit in offices and they solve really expensive, important problems with super janky, like super barely working, like it from a DevOps perspective, like just jank. Like, I mean, I've seen like multiple versions of Python overlapping each other, and you know, like you run it from one executable, but the Python path is pulling from like totally separate Python install. Like, you know, and like that kind of can work in the sense of it can all import and run your application or run your Jupyter notebook, let's say, or whatever. And people can make a lot of impact, a lot of good work on that stack. People make a lot of do a lot of good work on that super janky stack. Because once it runs, it kind of runs. So I really want to speak to the Anaconda on Windows users. That to me is an important, those are my friends. Those are my friends. So thank you so much. So thank you. We got an issue done. So sorry for that pause. I know I said I'd try to run through in a one-off. So Ubuntu uses Python 3 instead of Python. Other platforms typically use Python. And I say Python 3.8. Okay. Feedback welcome about success or failure. Oh, let's do this. Italic. Okay. So I'm using the, geez. I don't like the long message. I don't know. I just don't do it myself. So, or again, in immature projects, you don't do it. In mature projects, it comes to where it's in every commit. Definitely every PR or every merge for sure. That's another like step in the step ladder of maturity. And we don't want that today. Okay. So getting started with Chatfield, Python, off we go. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I want this copy pastable. Let's just do this, right? Copy, paste. Let's do it that like literally. So I change over. This is my new developer. I'm just going to paste. Yeah, it's a little, that should work. It'll queue up that source command. Which Python? Wonderful. Done. Install Chatfield in editable mode. Yes. It's not a great headline. It should say something more like install the Chatfield package into the Python environment or something like that. But that's fine. But this is good. Let me just, I can copy and paste this whole thing. That's going to paste directly into Bash. Paste. Go. Obtaining file. Yep. It's kind of pleasant. And then when Sid messaged me, if I recall, he said he works in Python and like React. So either TypeScript or JavaScript, or both, as often. And so, it's kind of another of the experiments of this whole project is, what is it like to use Claude Code all day, every day? And a major like sub experiment is, can I maintain as a hobbyist 2 languages, 2 completely different programming languages? I think browser and server side doesn't count. That's quite typical for JavaScript developers, for a lot of JavaScript developers, is to maintain software that runs in Node and the front end, or at least stuff like that, or to build for multiple targets and all that sort of thing. And the answer is yes. That's been a really positive, like answer already. That's been like, that experiment is providing feedback, and the answer is yes. It's been, I'm sure like years later, I'll if I ever rewatch these or whatever, it'll, because of technology moves, I imagine I'll be like disappointed from the perspective of the future in Claude Code's behavior, just because that's how I feel about all software that's years old. But it is already true that just having fun and like drinking coffee and running my mouth and all of that and building software, open source, in 2 languages is basically fine. It completely works. Claude Code has crushed this. It's crossed my mind to like just get this running in Java and .NET, also. Right? Oh, I remember, the problem is LangGraph. But, and then I just think Java people are paying the price right now of just like executing Python, like PySpark. I know there's Java, Spark, but Python's just the lingua franca for this ML, AI ML. So I think it's a diminishing return. I just wish I could tell Claude Code to rewrite it all in Java. I wish I had an excuse. We'll think of more. In fact, when this thing builds on the browser, I have a lot of work to do to give to Claude Code to build web application or like web components, web applications, stuff like that. I do intend, let's just make this, I'll make this a Claude Code directive. Claude Code directive. Hello, Claude Code. I do want to run the JavaScript test suite in the browser because I want to. It's the only way to be certain of the software quality at this level of maturity or immaturity. Now, I don't mind if it runs like in the developer console, you know, with console.log, or I literally, or it runs through, perhaps it could run through, maybe the whole test suite could run through Puppeteer or Playwright. Or I just don't care about the UI at all, but I want those tests to run on a browser environment. And I want to at least see pass fail, or if not, like see the test suite output. So that is the directive. Thank you. Okay. Someday I have this code in another code base. It just pulls these transcripts. Okay. Sorry, totally off. So that is done with pip. So let's keep going. Now I need an API key. So you create your own. Here's how I'm going to do mine. This is where you have to do this yourself. Create a .env file in your project directory. Oh, this is wrong. .env. Nope. Verify your .env. .secret. Here. .secret. Let's say the. Because you've cloned Chatfield and you've CD'd to it. I knew this would happen. I knew I basically have to do another pass of edits. Okay, save it. Whatever. Okay. All right. So this is, where are we up to? Okay. Yes. So make a .env.secret. So I'm going to do that too. Oh, I need to edit it again just to make it super, oops, I need to edit it again just to make it super clear. It's just not, it's not perfectly clear. Create a .env.secret file in the Chatfield root folder. I'll just say folder. I kind of say them interchangeably. I was brought up on directory, but you know, okay. Yeah, let's make that super clear. Create a .env.secret file. Okay, so that we got to save it. Fine. Okay. All right, so we'll keep following it. So I've copied and pasted. Here's env.secret. So you make your own. I'm going to make mine this way, right? So I'm just going to temporarily cd ... there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say grep, let's just do this, word count -l. So I'm going to say grep open AI _ API key. So from my old I'm basically just going to copy and paste this from my old, from my main project. Chatfield .env.secret. So it'll only pull that one line. And I'm going to confirm that by counting the lines. So I got one line. So that will be my .env.secret in this project. Off we go. So now I've put a .env.secret in my top level project. Wait, evals. Wait, this is the Python project. Let me close this. Oh yeah, I did it. I need to do code here. Whoops, no, not there. I got it wrong twice. There. Okay, let me close them all. Let me close them all just to be super, super clear. Oh, that was it. Okay. Up. So here is the .env.secret in my project that I've made. It has one line in it. And you make your own your way. So then, so you can do step 5. We could actually try it. Let's actually literally try it. So boom. So I'm just going to drop it right in. You could put it in examples. The thing about this pip install -- editable is the reason you put all the work into the virtual environment and the pip install -- editable is now anytime I run Python from that virtual environment, Chatfield is there. It's ready to, you just import it. It's ready to go. Like I said before, you could also make changes to the code and see what happens. You get both. In fact, the -- editable on Python is basically the equivalent for the npm link on the TypeScript side. That's exactly how that's working. So you should be able to put the file anywhere you like. I will just make a new one. Let me just make a new one like in the Python project. Well, let's just follow the documentation. Let's just follow it. Always just follow it. Don't think. Just follow the documentation. Getting started Python. myFirstForm.py. Let's just follow it. Because later on it might tell me to execute something with that file name. Who knows? Paste. myFirstForm.py. So then let's copy the content and paste it in. Okay, save. Okay, so that's saved. So actually, so it's saying run your script. And remember, I see the documentation has a slight, like, I think I could edit it actually. Configure your API key, create your first script, run your script. I could edit run your script and I could say, where's that? Run your script. I can do this like note, something like that. If need the .env.secret values, you can source the project env.sh file, which will load and export them in your current, only in your current like shell or terminal, right? Current, I'll say shell. Okay, slightly more accurate. Okay. Which will load and export them in your current shell session, I'll say. Okay. instead of you can, I'll just say, I love second person writing. Okay. I'll do you must use bash. You must use bash. Oops, I'm in VI mode. You must use bash. Just type bash, right? I'll leave that right. CSH. Just type bash. That's good enough. Okay. Or Windows, right? Or like command dot, right? Com, right? Or Windows. Just type bash. We'll start there. Whatever. Okay. So let's make an example. Source, like /env.sh. Folder, something like that, right? Perfect. Put that underneath, and we're good. Good. Save it. Okay. So now run your script. Python, my first form. If you need the .env secrets values, source the project's env.sh. That's a verb. Source it, pull it file, which will load. I wish I wrote it more clearly, but okay. So let's just copy and paste this. Copy, and we're off in here. So we're in the we're back in Python. Whoops. Opti. Whoa. Opti. Whoa. Let's get out of TypeScript. Python. Okay, Python. I'm going to clear the screen. So I'm just going to paste. There it is. Right? So now, if I run my first form, I'll copy it and paste. Go. Come on, Schwartz. If this doesn't work, I'm going to lose face. Yay. Great. Awesome. Okay, very good. So that's Python. Most people don't want to develop their applications inside of my Chatfield code base here. So there's a little bit to answer there. Although, perfect, we're done with Python. If you, I mean, I can just add a little extra flavor. So this my first form here. If I do this, if I go out, go out, like let's do it visually, I don't know. So here's my code. Let's just make a whole new folder called Python example, right? So I go into the Python example. So let's do this. Oops, get status, move, -vi mod. So // that'll be Chatfield / Python example. There it goes. Okay, I move it in. So here it is. So here's the point. I'm going to change out of there. Okay, so here we are. Let's go to the Python example. I think this is still going to run. The reason is, which Python? I'm still using the Chatfield virtual environment. If you're using the Chatfield virtual environment, if you're using the virtual environment from like Chatfield development, import Chatfield will work. It doesn't matter where you are in the operating system and all of that. That's the point. Hopefully I don't lose face here. So Python, yeah. Awesome. Perfect. So let's like edit it. So if we say like .alice is a pirate, right? So Alice is a pirate. One positional argument, but two were given. Is it like this? Dot description? Is it like that? I think that is correct. I think that is correct. Alice is a pirate. We'll try it. Roll. Roll. I don't know my own code base. If you use it and it's awkward, string option not couple. Come on, it's close. It's super close. I know this is super close. What? Oh, hold on, let me find it in my code base. Where is like a Python example with that favorite number? Well, I don't even know my own code base. Dot type. Oh, dot type. I see. Okay, yeah, I'm not even remembering my own API, my own SDK. Between like, is it type? There's type, there's description, and then there's type here, and then there's trait. The reason is traits are 1 or 0 or more, whereas description is 0 or 1. That was where this came from, but I don't know. Okay, so let's just do that. So .alice.type. Is that the point? Yes. So now she's a pirate. Come on, Schwartz. R, give me an R. Ahoy there. Yay. Okay. Wonderful. Can I say like Bob is like trait afraid of pirates, right? Come on. Did I get it wrong? I'm off. I'm just playing now. That did work. If you don't mind me asking. Okay. I may have a tiny bug where if you don't include a type, there may be a little initialization or build bug where maybe if a type is missing, then a trait can't stay. So that's okay. That's why it's in development. In fact, Claude Code directive, check if for Alice or Bob, what I'm seeing here is Bob. If a trait is defined but not a type, there might be an exception thrown because of a build bug where maybe things aren't initializing properly. Thank you. Okay, so that's my Claude Code directive. So what else can Alice be? A cliche robot, right? That's like not impressive. Yes. Okay. So that's Python. So that's how you kind of get started in Chatfield with Python. So that's done. So you can see, so that's a whole new project. You could start a whole new project with Python, and you could, the way this would work is this is your back end. So you'll be calling, if I just cat it, you'll just be calling this .go, and you can pass the user's latest message as a parameter, as an argument here, optionally. And from that's happening on your server side, and somehow you render that to the user through your own mechanism, through your own project, whatever. I've been doing terminal mostly, and once the JavaScript works better, I intend to do some browser stuff too, some like somewhat graphical stuff too. Okay. So that's the Python example. Let's do the TypeScript example. It's a little bit less of a happy story and working end to end. So let's just get into it and see how it goes. All right, TypeScript. Okay, so I'm going to start over. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to go to our code here. I'm going to just totally drop this. Let me deactivate real quick. I'm just going to drop Chatfield. Gone. Empty my trash. Yep. Okay. So we're going to clone it again. We're going to follow the instructions verbatim. Paste. Here we are, TypeScript. Now what? npm install. Paste. Okay. Oh. Okay. We're going to link globally. Correct. Good. So now if I say npm ls-g, this is how I've been running Claude Code all the time. Every time I type Claude, basically this pulls up. I don't know what core pack is. Obviously, this is npm itself. And then now Chatfield is in the global thing. And that's awesome. So from, this like reference, Chatfield/core, it goes dot, 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 all the way back up into my desktop, into the TypeScript. So that's the source code of the project. That's what makes it editable on the npm side, is this linking. So then you edit a file, the next time you import or require it, through the links, it ultimately loads your real source code file that you've been editing. That's how that works. It's similar in Python, but Python's more friction. I don't know. Okay, so that looks great. Let's keep going. Create your own project. So this is where, let's do this. Before we, like, this is not going to work with it linked globally. Link Chatfield globally and then link it to your project. Yes. But I think it's only going to work. Let's do the examples, right? Let's get the examples working. So let's close everything and start over, right? So let me go back to Java code dot. So here we're in the top level. There will not be a .env file. The script exists, of course, but not the .env file. So let's make that again. Was that grep? So I'm going to do the same thing. Make my secret. Maybe I went slightly out of order. I installed dependencies. I did this. Right. Oh yeah, we're going slightly off track because I'm going to try to run the examples. So I made the env.secret file. We could do it in here. If I just pull open a shell. So if I go to TypeScript/examples, now if I type npx favorite number, I think this will run, but my API key will be missing. Oh, does it load it itself? I think it loads it itself. I was wrong because in the examples, of course, yeah, oops, this is Python. Wait, nope. Oh, I read it. In the examples, it does populate itself. It does read that file. So that's awesome. So here's the mathematician. So if we just kill this, you could make your own. Yeah, let me just tell you how it would work without doing, you don't need to do this link. You need the API key. And then this myfirstform.ts, if I copy that, let's just put it, if I put it in the examples, or I could put it in top level TypeScript, I think that'll work. So let's new file, myfirstform.ts. And then I'll paste the content of the file there. So I'll press save. Now, this one does not do .env. So this one should run, I'll go ... npx tsx myfirstform. This one should run, but it should say you're missing your API key. Oh, okay, let's see. Read. What? Top level await is currently not supported. Oh. Oh, okay. Where's that await? Here. Oh. With the CJS output format. I wonder if I could fix that somehow. Dash dash. Right. Only allowed when... Is it dash dash module? Oh, there's a TS config. Yeah, but let me see if I can do dash dash module. Come here. Dash dash. Yeah, dash dash module. Specifiable module code. Like ES 2022 or something. Let's try ES 2022. I don't know. So let's try this. Come on, Schwartz. Oh, TSX doesn't do it. Come on. So tell me again what's wrong. Top level await. Yeah. CJS output format. Okay. Let's see. What is TSX? Can TSX change some kind of output format? Open language bundle proxy. Whoa, trace. There's a lot of these. Experimental. Nope. CommonJS modular preload. Nope. Report. Nope. Would output be around here? It's alphabetical. Okay, let me do this. Let's look. Transformation, no. Let's look for output. This is not exactly it. Hold on, less. Output. Nope. Nope. Okay, let's do this. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I'll just fix it this way. What is the fastest way? Let me actually do this. I'm going to make Copilot do it. Yes, exactly. Do it. Async function. Run. Can I do that? Why are you doing all that? No, don't do that. Just do it. Oh, wait. No, you can't do that. Let's see if I can just get away with this. First message. Yeah, basically all this code here. Let's see if that's going to help. Can I just call it without awaiting and then just let it queue up some IO and all that like Node? Let's see. So now it should run normally again. I shouldn't need all these fancy... Oh, wait, yeah, I was running here. Back to normal. Okay, module not found is interesting. Good, okay. This is... like my build errors. I don't know why it's doing CJS. Yeah. ESM. ES build. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So I believe this is about as far as TypeScript gets. So let's see. Oh, look. Oh, no, we don't want this JS. So then it's saying, what is it saying? Oh, it's packaged not found. Oh, okay. Okay. CJS. Let me just read my own TypeScript code. It's this package.json right here. ESM. I don't understand why it's doing CJS. Maybe I could. And then, right. So then if I go to my examples, why do my examples work? That's what I need to solve. Okay. Kill. Let's just go read it. What's my first form do that the examples don't? Chatfield / core. What does a TypeScript example do? Yikes. Parse args. Ouch. A lot of stuff. Okay. Chatfield interviewer. Oh. Oh, these are all like these are all like direct imports. I see. So if I do @Chatfield, that's not going to work. That's the point. Now there is Chatfield / index.js, index.tsx. So then what that might mean is for this one, could I do this? Like /Chatfield / index, let's say. Save. So this is what we're seeing here is that the build is not finished for shipping this out in PXT. Yeah. No, not favorite number. My first form. Let's get some coffee here. Wonderful. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so that's a route to, I mean, that's how it works today. That's about it. So this doesn't require npm link and all this, but that's fine. So that's cool. So then, now can I just do this? Save. Let's just see what is the fewest keystrokes we can make it work. Yes. Oh, and then I was going to say, right, .alice .type is ninja, right? What did ninja say? That's not very helpful. .trait always talks about ninja stuff. Off we go. Come on. Hey there, as a ninja, I'm always on the lookout for new skills. Yes. Yeah. Oh, and a ninja emoji. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's the example running in TypeScript. Perfect. So the only kind of change from the documentation is, oh, let's see if I can stroke one more character out. I think that'll work. I don't think I would want to cut anymore. Yeah, that's perfect. So rather than pulling from the package, instead of doing it the way Python, because the bundling and all of that is not working well, rather than pulling from @Chatfield and all that npm link, it does work if you use TypeScript. I think this won't really work well for JavaScript. And you use a like a file system reference, this is a relative path to the Chatfield directory here. In fact, maybe a slash kind of makes it more clear that I know I'm pulling from a Chatfield directory, from a folder there. And so that will load in just the source code directly. And TSX works with that. That's all great. So that's how that works. And then you have your example. We can do it here also. npx tsx my first form. It might be missing the API key. Perfect. Oh yeah, it's still in this window, in this environment as a ninja. Great. So, oh look, it's exactly the same prompt. Subtly talks about ninja stuff, right? So let's make it subtle. What does it mean to be subtle? What does it mean to subtly drop ninjas into a conversation? Like your age and name. Okay, whatever. It's a different response. Okay. So let's get Alice out of here. So that's the example form. That's the good favorite number. Basically, this is the one line of code that needs to change in the documentation. Let me just edit that there. It's, I know what I'll say. Create your project directory, npm link. I know what I'll say. Blah. Uh-oh, not until further notice. Skipped a step. What step? Project, install TypeScript. Nope. Link Chatfield to your project. Skip step 7. Okay, good. So the documentation's, this is good. This is how you evolve and make things more mature. It's just more output every day, more work. I always visually think of like termites, like we're all just scrambling and then somehow you get this massive cathedral. Okay. So step 7 goes API key. Now, and then here's the problem. Create a file named my until rollup. Yeah, in the folder directory, like descendants or any or anywhere deeper. Okay, fine. Oh my gosh, 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh. That's good. This entire thing is just onboarding, then that's fine. That's great. That's great, actually. At least this video, I just need to rename this video and say, hey, how to onboard. But I'm very happy to do this. This is work I must do. And if people are interacting with me and saying, hey, how do I do this or that? I will always prioritize helping people succeed over anything else. That's why we're all here, is to help people succeed in many, many different ways. Okay, perfect. And so then import using a relative path to the Chatfield source code directory, right? So for example, let's say this, for a file, for example, TypeScript / myFirstForm.ts : okay, so that's what this will be. And so then instead of at Chatfield / core, we gotta go ./Chatfield /. That's what that was here. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So then that's perfect. And we'll know that because I'm gonna copy and paste and make sure it works. Save that. Yeah. Current state for like whatever, that's not a great commit message, but that's okay. Okay, so note. Okay, so notice we're moving along. Skip to step 7. So by all means, npm install, npm link, and then skip to step 7. So configure API key. So have I done that yet? Let's just see. ... there it is. So I have done that. And so next, create your first script. So I'm going to copy and paste again to make sure it's perfect or close enough, right? So let's do TypeScript. Let's delete this one. So then in TypeScript, new file, myFirstForm.ts. There we go. Gonna paste it, save. And so then, okay, let's see what it did. This is why I copy and paste. This is good. Oh, let's see. ./Chatfield. Wait, did it go? Hold on a second. Wait, TypeScript. No, that's correct. From ./Chatfield, correct. Show me again. This is why I want to test it. I want to make it perfect for new users. I don't want people reporting stuff like this to me. So wait, what? Oh, top level await. Oh, yeah. I messed that up. Yeah. So let's do that as well. Main, right? No, main. And then we'll just put it in a main function. Interviewer, first message. No, you have to await. Okay, yes. So start the conversation. Function main. Let's just do that. Okay, so all of this will display out. Boom. Close it. Okay, save. So let's see if that works for the... I forgot to incorporate that into my stuff. Await can only be used inside. Oh yeah. Main has to be async. Async. Save it. Okay. Go. Good. Good. Okay. That is the real code base. I gotta copy all of this. Select all. Copy. I gotta go put this in the... I want the documentation must be perfect. Edit. Okay, so for the example file, this is it. From here down to the triple quotes, triple backticks, gone. And then I paste the new one. Good. So we correct. Commit changes, yes. Async, top level, await. I'm sure there's a workaround, but that's okay. Okay. So skip to step 7. Step 7, you did your OpenAI key. You create your first script. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again until it's perfect. Delete it. Gone. So create a file named myFirstForm.ts. Copy. TypeScript, new file, paste. Okay, so there's the empty file. Let's go get the content. I'm just going to copy GitHub, paste. Oh, look, I forgot my semicolons. I never write semicolons in JavaScript. Okay. So I've saved it. Let's follow. Let's continue on. Run your script. npx tsx myfirstform.ts or compile and run. Well, let's do this if I'm just going to edit. So for run your script, let's do this. Or compile and run. Something like that. Bench. Okay. All right. So then it's copy pastable. It's perfect. I don't even know what I'm saying. Got to get this shipped. Okay. Now let's keep going. We're almost done with TypeScript. So I've pasted this file. We're going to run it. Yes, perfect. Using TSX, it's fine. Copy, paste, go. Good. Wonderful. Yes. How can I assist you today? Now, this code needs to loop. This is kind of not helpful. It needs to loop. But today, that's what we've got. The perfect is the enemy of the good. So this is great. We could try this. I'm going to do it one at a time. I don't know. Maybe. If TSX runs, maybe TSC will run. Woo, what is that? Is that an error? Looks like an error. It's exiting exit 2. 11 errors. Yikes. Whoa. Okay, that does not run. Private identifiers are only available. Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. Down level iteration. Okay, so don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is just not. Let's just not. Yeah, let's get it out. Nobody needs to do this ever. Either you write JavaScript and you require Chatfield into your project, or you write TypeScript and you import. No one will compile their project this way unless that's their thing. Okay, so it's simpler. So we just run the script. All right. Good. This is what I mean. I was saying, like, getting a textbook or like a walkthrough, like, perfect, and then it's on Windows, you know, it's so, what I'm trying to say is on all the different operating systems or on all the different clouds, or it's way more work than you might think. Okay, so we skipped to step 7. We did that. We created our script. We ran it, and then we're done. That's TypeScript. Whew, let's check stuff in. So the end. That is running Chatfield as a developer today, October 3rd, 2025. Very soon there'll be kind of better build. It'll be easier to import. You can import at Chatfield. That is basically not working right now. And then also, and you will also be able to do it from Node, I think. But that is the way to use it today. And I definitely solicit all feedback about, like, how you might use it, or how you will use it, or how you are using it, or any experiences. Okay, so myfirstform.js and myfirstform.js. Oh, it did build it. Interesting. Ooh. No way. Oh my gosh. Oh, it just complained to me. Oh, wow. It built. I don't recommend doing this though, but it did run. Wow. Very cool. Wonderful. Okay. But I'll delete these. Okay, so this is my code. Oh, it built JavaScript for all of these. I see what it did. That's fine. So I'm going to, actually, I can exit out of this. I'm going to exit out of this and clean up because I need to prepare for the wrap up. So for my desktop code, I'm going to delete both of these. It's just empty now. I never do trash. Okay, so these are gone. Is there anything else to like check in or commit? There's documentation on my side. Yeah, getting started. Okay, lots of getting started. Okay. Now, so I hope that helps. That basically concludes all of getting started in both languages for Chatfield. With Python, you could begin building an application today. You can import. All you need to do, and this is quite common if you're developing in many circumstances, you need to, rather than just pip install the easy way, you have to clone down the repo and then import that clone that you've made. In the real, often, if you want to fork a repo or fix a bug in it or something like that, that's kind of the fastest way to get it done, like by Friday, getting it done by Friday. Often at work, I say there's two kinds of speed for these computers. There's like gigahertz and megahertz and throughput and gigaflops and how many terabytes and how many records per second can you process and all of that speed. And then there is also, will we finish by Friday? There's that speed. There's the velocity of, delivery, basically. And they're different. They're different. And so what I'm typically more interested in the latter, frankly. How do we get, it may not show because this is a hobby open source project, but that's I think more interesting to me. And so getting this documentation is super helpful driving that. So that's the Python story, and then TypeScript we just saw. So that is the developer onboarding process. For sure. Oh, I see. Yeah, because when you import the TypeScript directly like that with that, I think it will then know. Oh, it'll find the prompts by going ... The TypeScript template implementation. It just opens the file system and reads ... goes up to these prompts and then reads these prompts out. And so that's why that does work when you do it the way it's documented now with TypeScript. It's not pleasant, it's not done, but it does work. The system prompts all work. So that's great. So let's do the wrap up. Now I want to do a couple of things. This was too long. Was it wiki? Yeah, here we go. This was too long. So let's edit it. Okay. Remove unused example. Yes. Okay, so it's .claude / commands. Here it is. Okay, so this is the wrap up command. Okay, generate a daily commit diary and post to GitHub wiki. Okay, read all Git commits over the last 24 hours and create a markdown diary entry Don't need to double quote it. Don't need to be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. A markdown diary entry summarizing the work. Post it to the GitHub wiki with a title of today's date in the format YYMMDD. Oh, you know what I might be able to do? Date. What is it? Plus %. Let me ask Claude Code. YYMDD. Is it % big Y, % little m, % little d? Yeah. One's month and one's minutes, and I don't remember which. Okay, so that's correct. So I could maybe just tell it to do that, huh? Let's see if I can just make it run that. Oh. Get today's date. Today's like date. Plus Y M D. Boom. Okay. Get today's date in the proper format. Okay, I'm gonna make it run the date sub command. I don't know why. Get commits from the last 24 hours using git log. Oh, okay. Okay, whatever. Good. Analyze the commits and their changes to create a narrative summary. Wonderful. Format as a markdown document. Ah, that's where it got it wrong. Why? Title. It's not timestamped. Oh, let's do this. Title, development diary. YYYYMMDD. Or let's do this. I think that might sort a little better. Oh, I know. Can it be like diary slash YYYY/MMM development? Let's try that. No, it's not GH API. It's like this. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to do this. Git remote -v. So if I go git clone, I'm going to clone the repo. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. .wiki. I think it's like that. And we're going to clone that down to wiki. Okay. And don't tell anyone, you're not really supposed to clone inside of a clone. But wiki. Let's just ignore that. A git clone of the wiki, of the project wiki. Okay, so now I've got the wiki, right? Git show. Yeah, I updated this blog post about, I want to talk about this on the stream at some point, about running, basically, I think is on Chatfield, the evals came later in the process. I had built all sorts of, I basically built the entire product and then decided to start evaluating it. And the blog post is all about, do the evals, like when you're just still kind of wireframing stuff on paper, start evals, especially if there's security or like privacy stakes. If there's high stakes, if there's any, risk or consequences for like security or confidentiality or anything like that. start the evals. So that's what I wrote up. So anyway, so that's correct. Let's see if I can just move it. Make dir diary git move 2025 to diary slash 2025 10:02 space development.md. See if that works. Whoa. What? Oh, I see. I see. Weird. Weird. A place for the diary. Daily diary. Let me push. Let's see what it looks like. So if we go to the wiki. Oh, I see. That's why the hyphens don't work. Oh, interesting. 2025 342 22. Wait, what? No. What in the world is that? So it's 02. That was October 2nd. 342 200 220. Oh, is that a space? Let's see what that looks like. Let me copy that. Git mv that to, let's paste that. Let's see what it does. 2025 that, and then the word test.md. Let's see if that works. Okay. That looks terrible. Okay, let's back it out. Let's just back it out. So now I got that file name back. What is going on with that file name then? Yep, there's my blog. Oh, yeah, look at that. 2025 dash. Looks great here. What is that file name? I know. Git move 2025 underscore 10 underscore 02.md. Oops. Whatever. Push. Okay, good enough. Good enough. I don't want to deal with escaping stuff at 10:20 in the morning. Okay, so wonderful. Now, I want to kind of do this. Diary, make dir weekly. No, daily. Yep. Oh, in fact, could we do like this? You know what I'm about to do, right? Make dir -p 2025 /10, right? Okay, here we are. All right, let's see if we can find it. Dot dot slash. Is that it? Nope. Dot dot slash. There it is. So this would be o2.md. Whoop. Hey, unknown switch. Oh. It's just muscle memory. Whoops. I think that works. Oops. Should be fine. Yeah. Push. Oops. Force. Okay. All right. Let's see if that works. Cool. Wait, O2. Oh no, that like didn't work. Oh, like that doesn't, does that like not matter? Wiki, top level, pages. It must work, right? /wiki. So if I go blog draft, can I go diary daily, right? 2025 1002.md. Does that work? Ooh, that's bad. But then if I load it here, it works. Okay, I know what I want to do instead. Get MV diary to that, to diary. Let me just do it again. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just make it like that to keep it a little bit better. Amend and push. All right, what does that look like? Whoops, wiki. Daily, so that's yesterday. Wonderful. That's good enough. Development diary 2021. Okay, so that's awesome. So that's perfect. So now let's edit that command again. Daily commit diary. Okay. I love it. Git log. Thank you. Analyze the commits. Create a narrative summary. Format as a markdown document. Location in the wiki repo. Right. To post it to a GitHub wiki with a title of today's date. Is cloned? Is git cloned? Is this project root to wiki? Use the GitHub wiki git clone, which is in this project via git cloned to wiki. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Steps. Get today's date. Boom. Git commits. Analyze the commits. Yep. Markdown. In the wiki repo. In the wiki. Colon. Okay. All right, so what did I decide? Forgot already. Daily underscore. So there is no, yeah. So that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. Yep, that's all working. And then that will not work, right? Good, okay. Yeah, that's fine. We literally only have like 2 documents in here, so that's fine. So let's keep going. Oh, VI. All right. Name in the wiki repo. File name in daily underscore YYY underscore MM underscore DD dot MD. Okay. Title. Wonderful. So the title can be a little bit better. Wiki. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Whoops. I know what I'm going to do. Let's do this. Development diary. File name in the wiki. Title. Summary. Detailed sections. No. Use GH API. No. To post the repository. No. Nope. Nope. Create a new file. No. Okay. Format as a markdown document in the wiki. Diary. and then like longhand date. Example, October 31st, 31. Right, something like that. Yeah. Let's stretch out our legs. Longhand date. Perfect. And then summary section. Yeah, summary section. One, like summary, one paragraph, a paragraph summarizing the major changes, major work, the major changes to the code. Then a paragraph summarizing, the goals. The apparent goals of the work. Okay. Describing the overall theme or goal of the work. Yeah, exactly. Overall theme or goals of the work. Right. Okay, good. So there's a summary section. Do I want the detailed section, major changes? Template system, right, this is huge. Files removed, no. Files modified, no, no, no. No statistics. Okay. Summary section, major changes section. All right. Major changes section, right? A, one, right. Yeah. One, right, deep dive on each. Calling me. Someone's calling me here. Let's see if I can answer. I'm back. I had a big phone call. Sorry. Let's wrap this up. I'm trying to wrap this up. I'm overlapping. It's starting to feel like work where phone calls are cutting into stuff. This is good enough. I want a bullet list or something like this, but this is perfect. So I'm going to wrap up with this. Today was all about helping other developers or other engineers or other people kind of actually get more involved or get started with Chatfield. So this is all at work. I would say this is all no regrets work. This must be done before MVP, before shipping, to tell people how to use Chatfield. How do I get started with all of this? So this is great. Yeah, you see, so this quick start does not say how do you install Chatfield. Now at the moment it's not published in NPM and all of that, and so you have to jump directly into like the developer mode rather than a consumer. But this is totally correct. Whoops. Oh, it's still too verbose. It's still too verbose. I don't want to read all this and go through all this. But the documentation and developer experience was today. Getting started. These are not comprehensive. They're just drafts. Really, they're not comprehensive. Yep, lower the barrier to entry for sure. And so there's not really many super important changes worth seeing. What is that? Yeah, just some of the examples changed. Yeah, this is way too much documentation, but that's great. So that's a good diary for today. And then we'll begin tomorrow. And then with tomorrow, like basically there's still somewhere along the way I lost my notes to myself. Oh yeah, let's do that. /wrap-up command. Okay, so my notes, I lost my notes somewhere, but let's just write new ones. They may be in the repo somewhere. That's fine. It literally doesn't matter where. So to do here, the next title will be, just copy today's title. On building. I need to rename today's video because it's all about developers. In fact, pull circular dependencies on both standalone, like the compiler complains, and browser, and lean. Browser says like something is undefined. That was yesterday's problem. Okay, we're gonna stick with this. So if I get diff, these are my notes just to remind myself tomorrow, whatever, and we will carry on there. I've already summarized how we've done. It's all been about developer documentation today, and I'm happy. The documentation is somewhat, definitely draft. On the other hand, this is copy and pastable. This is reliable. The way this is documenting is accurate. This is up to date for at least the current project. It's not, this documentation is not out of date. This all works for the current code base, and it's all copy and pastable. I confirmed all of that today. So I'm happy with this, and then this can evolve. We can get out of the cloning things and all of that. And it can just say, just run npm install, pip install in the future. So I'm super happy with all of this. Okay, I ran over and it's conflicting with my other work today, so that's bad. So let me go. Thank you. See you tomorrow. We'll build some roll-up packages.